Get excited, because it's time for chapter 18! The characters are gonna be excited, I imagine, so should you. Oh yay! Gynecologist time! Dr. Green is tall, blonde, and immaculate, dressed in a royal blue suit. Thank you for coming on such short notice. Thank you for making it worth my while, Mr. Grey. What is she getting out of this deal? Probably a shitload of money. After a thorough examination and lengthy discussion, Dr. Green and I decide on the mini pill. She's on the pill now. Dr. Green says, Mr. Grey, look after her. She's a beautiful, bright young woman. Which is just completely inappropriate. Taylor appears from nowhere to escort her through the double doors and out to the elevator. How does he do that? Where does he lurk? He's a superhero! I love Taylor. Taylor's my favorite character. Christian asks her how it was, and Anastasia says, she said I had to abstain from all sexual activity for the next 4 weeks. Gotcha! She's so funny. He's just sex on legs, and now I have to recover my equilibrium. I don't know that she's used that word enough. She's looking at him from beneath her lashes again. His look goes from dark to smoldering, taking me with him. He wants to have sex with her, and everything in my body tightens at once. Seriously, I think you might be having a stroke. They're in the playroom. My blood is running heated and scared through my system. It should be heated, but your blood should not be scared. They're in the playroom. Wow, the playroom is intense. His gaze is so intense. Okay, it's starting to get a bit real. In the playroom, he's giving her orders and such. He's undressing her. She moans and he tells her to be quiet. Rude. He has braided her hair and he says he likes her hair braided when they're in the playroom. I don't know why. Okay, she's down to her underwear and he says, when I tell you to come in here, this is how you will dress. Just in your panties. Do you understand? She's all, yes sir. When I tell you to come in here, I expect you to kneel over there. He leaves her kneeling by the door in her panties and just goes somewhere else. There's a riding crop happening. He's chaining her hands up to the ceiling. I'm entrusting myself to a beautiful man who, by his own admission, is 50 shades of fucked up. How many shades? Can't remember. He takes her panties off and then sniffs them. Pervert. He walks around her touching her with the riding crop, and on his second circuit he suddenly flicks the crop and it hits me underneath my behind. ... against my sex. Now he's hitting her nipples. He instructs her to open her eyes and her mouth. He hits her with the riding crop against her clitoris until she comes. He's gonna have sex with her against that wooden X on the wall. Oh wow! She's quoting Shakespeare. They have the sex and afterwards she's utterly exhausted and wants to go to sleep. Will he let me sleep? Perchance to dream? Cause E.L. James is basically Shakespeare. She nuzzles into his chest and suddenly he turns cold and tells her to kneel by the door again. My inner goddess has a do not disturb sign on the outside of her room. Your inner goddess has a room? What? She's so tired that she falls asleep in the kneeling position and he's like, boring you, am I? Hold out your hands in front of you as if you're praying. Cable ties. Yay. Yes, these are the cable ties that he bought from her at Clayton's. We've come full circle. He takes her to the bed. They're just having a quickie now. She giggles and he likes it when she giggles. And then he says, I'd say you're thoroughly fucked and in need of sleep. True story. He climbs into bed with her and then she falls asleep. Good times. What happened in chapter 18? Anastasia saw a gynecologist and has a prescription for the pill, and then Christian Grey shackled her to the ceiling and fucked her in several different ways. And E.L. James quoted Shakespeare, showing a high caliber of writing. This book is so riveting. That's all that happened in chapter 18. The end. Goodbye.